Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and it is that time of year again. Football is back. To be honest, I'm actually not a big football fan. My family grew up on NASCAR. Both of my parents race every single weekend at our local circle track. So for me, NASCAR is my game day. But what I do love about football season is coming together as a family and eating some awesome food. So today I have for y'all 4 delicious recipes that y'all can bring to your next game day. So come along with me and let's get cooking. This Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce is the perfect way to kick off these meals. It brings a smoky flavor with just enough bite you won't miss that store-bought sauce. We're gonna start with half of an onion diced. Cook this down with about a tablespoon of olive oil. Once fragrant, we're gonna add in 3/4 cups of brown sugar and 1 can of diced tomatoes. I'm using the Hot Rotel because I finally found it in our stores and I stocked up on those suckers. Next, stir in 1 can of Dr. Pepper and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. This cornstarch is gonna act as the thickener, and don't worry if you don't like the taste of Dr. Pepper. This cooks down enough that it doesn't really have that taste, but it does have those subtle 23 flavors. Next, add in 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. This just gives the right amount of twang. Seasonings are salt, pepper, and smoked paprika, followed by 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Just let this cook until it thickens. I cooked mine for about 30 to 40 minutes. I'm gonna use a barbecue sauce for our next 2 recipes. We're making hot dog shots and beanie weenies. This is how our barbecue sauce looked after about 40 minutes. Just adding this over the beanie weenies, setting this to low, and it can cook for however you need it to cook. It's just basically warming up those beanie weenies since they're already cooked. Now this gave just a nice little kick to these beanie weenies and I really enjoyed this one. For our hot dog shooters, we're gonna be cutting our bacon in half and saving the rest for later. Now I used about 2 to 3 slices of that leftover bacon, but for our hot dogs, we're gonna cut these in half. Now you could definitely use the whole hot dog and not cut anything and just wrap the whole piece of bacon around. I just wanted to make a little bit of a smaller version of this. We're just gonna take 1 piece of bacon and wrap it around our hot dog and stick a toothpick in it. Yeah, it's definitely a messy process, so once again, if you don't like to touch raw meat, definitely get some gloves. But this is super easy to put together. If you have your kids around, they could totally help you make this. But we are just gonna continue wrapping each one of our hot dogs. I'm laying it on a tinfoil sheet. You don't have to worry about dishes. Once you are done with all your hot dogs, we are going to try this in 2 different batches. So the first batch, I put everything in the Ninja Foodie at 375 and I made sure to spray it with a little bit of Pam. I set the timer for 12 minutes and then added them back in for 5 more minutes. So this is the way they looked after those 12 minutes. I wanted to make them a little bit darker because I didn't feel like the bacon was cooked all the way. So I plated those up after the 5 minutes was over, and then our second batch I did again at 375, but I did this for 15 minutes, flipping at the 6-minute mark. You can definitely see the color difference here. This is the first batch compared to the second batch, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do them like the second batch from here on out, because that first batch did get a little bit darker, as y'all can see, and they still had the same great taste. They were really good. I would definitely pair this with that barbecue sauce that we are making, or you could even dip this in ranch, ketchup, whatever your favorite dipping sauce is. Just have a bunch of condiments out and let everybody go crazy. They are perfectly brown. The bacon is crispy. I might have cheated and already tried them, but I have not tried them with the barbecue sauce. So you could definitely either have this served on the side or brush it on top of your hot dogs, however you want to do it. I'm just gonna go ahead and dip it right in because it is just me here trying them. Make sure that you get that toothpick out though. Don't serve them with the toothpicks in unless you don't like your company, then why are they at your house? But let's try this. That's good. The smokiness of that bacon paired with that barbecue sauce. Now doing the Hot Rotel and adding that paprika in did set the heat level over. So if you don't like spice, I would definitely just do like the regular, but I really enjoyed that. Now it didn't make a whole lot. I had enough to pour on top of our beanie weenies and then like half a cup worth. So if you're looking for more, definitely double the recipe. It says that it makes 12 servings. I think I cooked mine down a little bit too much, but I like the consistency that it is at. These pizza dippers may be my new favorite snack. We're gonna start with as many tortillas as you would like, mozzarella cheese, and pepperonis. Later on, I do add marinara sauce and ranch for dipping. Now, with the tortillas, we're gonna cut them in half, but I do experiment later and cut these in half again. Whatever size you wanna make is up to you. For our butter mixture, I have 1.5 ounces of melted butter that I'm going to add in garlic and Italian seasoning. Stir together and set this to the side. To your tortillas, we are just going to start by brushing the butter mixture along the edges. You could definitely just do this with an egg, but I thought the butter and the seasonings would just give it a nice little touch. Sprinkle our mozzarella along the side. I am going to cut my pepperonis down because I just felt like they were a little too big. So if you make this, maybe try getting the small pepperonis. That might work a little bit better. But just put your pepperonis right on top of your mozzarella. Now, if I had the bigger tortillas, I feel like that worked a little bit better with not having as much cheese spill out, but it was totally fine. You can just scoop this cheese up and then add it to your tortilla. Now, I did experiment again and add one with pickles, the long pickles that I get from Kroger, and that actually turned out really good. So I might try that one up again next time. Now to our Ninja Foodie, we are going to add in all of our pizza dippers. For this, I did try out different timings. This batch I did 375 for 6 minutes. Now after 6 minutes, I did flip everything over because it did need to crisp up a little bit more. The cheese at this point was getting nice and melted, but I just wanted more of a golden touch to them. So flip everything over, spray with a little bit more Pam, and cook for 6 more minutes. These turned out perfect. They were nice and melted. Just look at that cheese. Now I did experiment and added 2 pickles in with this batch, and those were even better. Let me show you how those turned out. So I just took the pickle ones out. This is the brand of pickles that I use. If you've never tried these before, I actually got this one at Kroger. It is so good. It has like bay leaves and garlic in it. It's just something different than a regular pickle. So let's go ahead and try. Oh, hot. Besides it burning my tongue off, that is so good. That's like a really super quick fried pickle. Of course, it doesn't have like the true fried pickle taste, you know what I mean? But it is still really good. Really great party snack. I'm gonna enjoy this one. Okay, let's move on to the next recipe. If you're needing a hearty meal, these buffalo sandwiches are my go-to. I'm using 4 chicken breasts, Frank's buffalo hot sauce, Tony's ranch, garlic powder, and onion powder, and about a half cup of chicken broth. Now you're gonna mix all of your seasonings together. I think I went in with probably about a tablespoon or so. I'm just kind of guesstimating. Put whatever seasonings you want and however much you want because this is your sandwich. So just sprinkle that on the top, and then we are gonna flip them over and then add all the seasonings back on. Now, you definitely don't have to do this in your Ninja Foodie if you don't have one. You could definitely cook this on your stovetop, but I just like doing it this way. I find it a little bit easier. So I just added a little bit of olive oil and seared my chicken on both sides. Now I'm just taking my chicken out to be able to add in chicken broth. I thought I recorded this part, but I didn't. So all I did was just pour the chicken broth on the bottom, putting in this wire rack, and then adding our chicken breast right back in. I feel like the chicken broth just gives it another flavor and then adds in some more moisture. We're gonna put on our pressure lid, hit the pressure button on high for 5 minutes. Now, it's gonna take longer than 5 minutes to cook because it does have to build up that pressure. After the 5 minutes are done, we are going to let this naturally release for 8 minutes. Once those 8 minutes are over, you could definitely shred this with your fork, but I'm gonna be using my KitchenAid mixer just because I feel like it's a little bit easy and, you know, I felt like doing dishes this day or something. But for our buffalo sauce, we are gonna add in 2 cups of Frank's buffalo with about 2 tablespoons of butter, and we are just gonna put this in the microwave just for about 30 seconds or so that butter can melt down and everything can mix together. I feel like the butter and buffalo sauce combo is so great because it's just like silky and smooth, and I love it so much. I could literally eat buffalo on everything. I've made a buffalo chicken pizza that is super good. I'll leave that video down below. But just mix this all together with your spoon. Now, I did go ahead and toast up my buns, but that is a totally optional move. And I just serve this up with some pickles and chips, but you can have out whatever you want. It is your game day. Okay guys, I hope you found a recipe you can take to your next game day. If you need some more inspiration, I have put together a game day playlist for y'all. Check this one out next, and I will catch you guys in next Wednesday's video. Bye!